Very good morning, dear children. Today we are going to start the grammar topic phrase. But I would like to go this topic side by side. We have done in 7th standard also, from 6th standard you are doing phrase. Then in 7th you have done phrases and clauses. And those who have done it and the comfortable way and to make it more clear, uh, it is really comfortable to go with phrases and clauses simultaneously because we do the same kinds. I mean, they are of the same kind, little differences here. Now let's start the comparing this phrase and clause. Phrase is not a full sentence. Now, beta, what is a phrase? Phrase is a group of words. Fine. It has it. Sometimes it has doesn't have subject. Sometimes it doesn't have that predicate. Fine. But this clause it has a full subject, complete subject, and finite verb. In other words, phrase does not have a finite verb, right? So it can have subject, verb, or neither. It might be that sometimes it doesn't have a subject and verb either. Right? Means any group of words can be called the phrase. Now here I would like to emphasize that the phrase does not have a finite verb. Now it means if it is having a group of words having non-finite verb is a phrase. Please fix it in your mind. A group of words having non-finite verb is taken as a phrase. Finite verb होती है which changes according to the subject. Means has, have, is, am, are. When a verb change according to the number of the subject or the tenses, that is finite verb. Now, this clause can express a complete thought. No doubt, it also give a message. It also tell us something. Sometimes children they say that the phrase does not make sense. It's not so that it doesn't make a sense, isn't it? The black cloud. It is a complete phrase and it tells you about a cloud that's black. But we can say not a complete thought, right? Now the kinds of phrases are prepositional, adjective, adverb, noun, and verb phrase. Now with a here, usually you will be getting many more kinds of the phrases, but our main concern or we guide the students these adjective, adverb, and noun phrase main because this verb phrase is not taken as well. This prepositional phrase, this adjective and adverb phrase, they come under this prepositional phrase. I'll tell you, right? And then the clauses. Clauses are independent and dependent, means subordinate clause. Two kinds here are mentioned. Rest I will guide you when we will do it. They are again, you will be asked about the, because there are many clauses, prepositional clause and so on. But we'll be doing adjective, adverb and noun clause. Now let's just make it more to make it more clear. Which of the following are phrases, which are clauses? In my room. In my room, you can see there is no finite verb, so it is a phrase. The cat went under the bed. Now, if you are able to recognize the words, the thing is that you should be able to recognize all the parts of speech in a sentence. If you should be very much clear about it. The is determiner, cat, noun, went, verb, then under, again preposition, the again determiner, and bed noun. Means everything is here. It makes complete sense having a finite verb. If it is past tense, now you can identify this is past tense. Right? If it is in present, the cat goes under the bed. And it is when it is plural, then cats go. Naturally, the verb changes according to the subject. So it is finite verb, right? So this is the complete sentence having the subject and object and verb and everything. So it is a clause. Now until next week, phrase or clause. Why? Until next week. Think about it. Until next week, quickly walking to the store means to tell that whether it is a phrase or clause, you are supposed to search for the finite verb. Fine. Until next week. Can you find any finite verb? Quickly walking to the store. Is there finite verb? Yet they cried. Fine. So don't take it when you want to understand the difference of this finite verb, you should take it in present tense, है ना? आप tried को आप try ले सकते हैं. Yet they try. Okay. Now you should be able to recognize the phrase and the clause. You'll be getting many more sentences. So to make you clear, let me describe these examples. Now until next week. But this is the phrase. Fine. Until next week. Fine. There is no finite verb. Quickly walking to the store. Now quickly walking to the store, it is that participle. So it is not a finite verb. Fine, you will say that walking. If you remember, if walking is there, if you think that it is continuous, then you should have some finite verb with it. Is walking, was walking, then it can be, isn't it? So yet they tried. Yet they tried. Now, if tried means this is finite verb, so we can call it a clause. When it has some um, but it doesn't have the adverb with it. The only they require here an adverb. Now phrase and clause. Phrase group of related words that does not contain a subject and verb and is used as a part of speech. Clause is a group of words that contain a subject and a verb and is used as a part of a sentence or a sentence by itself. Now let me describe this clause also. With a sentence having subject and predicate, complete subject and predicate is a sentence. But when that sentence become a part of another sentence, I told you earlier, when a sentence become a part of another sentence, it is called the clause. Right? Now, let's think about more about it. A phrase, you will think to fill the blanks. I'll tell you the answer. A phrase is a group of related words that is used as a part of. A phrase is a group of related words that is used as a part of and does not contain both a dash and a dash. A phrase stands alone as a sentence. A clause has both a dash and a dash. A clause dash stand alone as a sentence. Now let's see the answers. A phrase is a group of words, related words that is used as a part of speech in a sentence and does not contain both a subject and a verb. A phrase can be a group of words, but it does not have both subject and verb. When a group of words have a subject and verb, then it becomes a sentence itself. It should be clear. A phrase cannot stand alone as a sentence. A clause has both subject and verb. A clause can stand alone as a sentence if it's an independent clause, means principal clause. You know, principal clause is complete in itself. Now, prepositional phrases, not a complete thought, used to help modify other parts, deal with preposition. Sometimes we get this in your questions or in your answer sheets that some students last year they mark prepositional phrase. But we are not asking prepositional phrase, but a prepositional phrase means when a preposition is added to a group of words. Fine. So it becomes a prepositional phrase, but we are asking you the further difference. Further difference is adjective and adverb phrase. An adjective phrase is a prepositional phrase that is used to modify a noun. An adverb phrase is a prepositional phrase that is used to modify a verb or other adverb. Means they play the role of, when a preposition plays the role of an adjective, it is adjective phrase. The same thing is there. But when a clause plays the role of an adjective sentence, then it is adjective clause. And when a phrase plays the role of an adverb, when they modify the verb, or you know the adverb, again remember the definition of adverb. Adverb modify a verb, adjective or another adverb. The same thing will be regarding this adverb phrase and clause. The difference is that phrase is a group of words without finite and clause is a complete sentence modifying the noun. Now, noun and verb phrase. We will not be doing in detail these because noun phrase are group of words that, sorry, noun phrase you will do. Verb phrases are again, verb phrase are group of words that act as verb. When a verb, it has more than one word, then it is called the verb phrase. Fine. But will not be, will not need not to do this verb phrase. Fine. So will be related to the adjective, adverb and noun. Now, noun phrase. Again, a phrase which plays the role of a noun. Now, what is a noun? Noun is the name of a person, place, or thing. It is, you can say the noun is the subject or an object in the sentence. But when this subject or object is more than one word, then it is phrase. When it is a complete sentence, then it is a clause. So I hope that it should be very much clear if you know the difference of this phrase and clause. Clause, a group of, sorry, a word group that contains a subject and verb. There are two types of clauses, mainly they are independent and dependent. Independent clause is a principal clause which is independent in itself. When it is independent, it is principal, it does not have kinds. Fine, it should be clear to you. Principal clause is complete sentence. It is not depending on. Now, dependent clause. Why dependent or subordinate? In other words. Now, subordinate clause, because it subordinate the principal clause. Subordinate karna, support karna. When it support, when it modify the principal clause, modify in the sense when it is working as an adjective, adverb or noun. Again, the same kind we will do for clauses. Now, these subordinate clauses will be adjective, adverb, or noun clause. Fine. Now, dependent clause or subordinate clause, they have subject verb, but does not express a complete thought, cannot stand alone as a sentence. And they start with the subordinating conjunction. Now, the other way is to recognize them is they are followed by the, they are conjuncted, they are joined, they are just joined with the principal clause with the help of subordinating conjunctions. Now, subordinating conjunctions, those words which are used to join two sentences, if you remember conjunctions we have done, isn't it? And if you see the words, so they should be having the all kinds of adverbs. How, कैसे हुआ, कब हुआ, क्यों हुआ, fine. So all adverb. Then again, relative pronouns, all these which are used for the adjective. Which house? It is used for the showing the relation. Then who? He is the person who killed the emperor, isn't it? So it is telling about the murderer, whom, whose. All these are used to conjunct the adjective with the main clause. These coordinating conjunctions are used to join the this subordinate clause with the main clause. So, dear students, I hope that it is very much clear to you. Fine. And when you will do, always remember that we learn grammar when we do it, when we practice it. When you practice it, then only you will learn grammar. Fine. It is just for making the concept clear. And you have done earlier also. The thing is that you should be able to recognize. Fine. Now, I would like you to open the topic in your book.